Welcome everybody. My name is Pastor Davo, and I'm going to start doing disc golf content. If you look through the videos on the channel as they exist, you've got a couple of movies, but you've got mostly sermons or video series that I preach through. But that's not all that I do. That's why the channel is called DavoIs_, and then each video has whatever it is, whatever activity I'm participating in. So this will be Davo is Disc Golf. I'll be doing a voiceover because the camera / microphone situation that I had for the video did not work out. So I did what I could, and after I realized it wasn't going to work, I decided that doing a voiceover would be best. But I probably would need an intro, possibly an outro. A little bit I want to tell you is that I've been officially playing disc golf for about 6 months. I threw my first disc. I played my first round about 2.5 years ago. My friend PJ Pate, PJ, asked me if I would go play disc golf with him, and I said sure. I have a 15-year background and a master level understanding or master level. At one point in time, I had master level certifications in coaching and nutrition. I kind of joke and tell people that I am, as an autodidact or self-taught person, I have the equivalent of a doctoral understanding of Christianity and fitness. So I'm always down to try something fitness related. My background is predominantly, I like to say that I'm a bodybuilder who trains like a power lifter who does things like CrossFit, triathlons, half marathons, and disc golf for fun, just to be healthy. I'm a 40-year-old man as of 2024. So I basically started playing disc golf at 40 years old. But I did, as I said, I threw my first disc 2.5 years ago. I went and played, about a dozen rounds with PJ and our group of friends who all own some discs. I didn't own discs yet. I threw PJ's disc, and then he started buying me discs so that I wouldn't lose his discs. And then ultimately what happened was, throughout that 2.5 year period, he kept saying things like, man, if I would just take this serious, I think I could get better. I need to take time to practice and actually get better. I really wish I would take time to practice and get better. And I realized that he wanted somebody to commit to that with him. And I genuinely believe, as somebody whose other background is in Christian ministry, and I'm walking with my first priority in this life being Jesus Christ and Him crucified, seeking first His kingdom and His righteousness, that all other things be added to me. I really believe that I sense the Lord say, hey, take this serious, and help Him take this serious, and I'll bless it. And so that's what I'm doing. In that process, I have yet to compete, so I don't have a PDGA number, and I don't have a rating yet. If I had to guess, I think I'm somewhere between 850 and 920, probably 850, 900. I think I've played upwards towards about a 920, 930 rating, and I've played definitely down around 750, 720, 700 rating on some rounds. After getting started, practicing, realizing I really could, just through a little bit of practice, increase my skill level pretty rapidly, applying principles of coaching that work across, universally across all sports, and then began learning what disc golf was supposed to be about. And what's unfortunately you're going to see in the video that from the first round that I played for 2025 and the first round I played for the channel is that thinking so much about anything other than disc golf, because I was trying to create content, disc golf content, I was trying to create a video, I ended up forgetting a lot of those things, but you'll see it. I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you keep coming back, because part of the reason I'm doing this is just to put myself out there. The other part of the reason I'm doing this is because I got blessed to be invited to be a part of Team Goliath Discs. And so the round that you're going to watch today, that I'm going to do a voiceover for, is my first and only thus far 100% Goliath Discs only round. My next video, I think, or one of my next videos, will actually be what's in the bag for 2025 for me. It will not be 100% Goliath Discs, but I will do most of my videos revolving around Goliath Discs, or just, weird internet challenges, playing games like Rip Revenge with PJ. I'm going to have PJ on here a lot because he is who I predominantly play with. But I also play with a chaplain and president of our regional Disc and Disciples group, Justin and Corbin. Those guys are great guys. Love playing with them. So hopefully I'll get them on the channel. Hopefully I'll have a microphone and a good camera, and all this stuff will be better quality one day. But I think for now, at least, the vocal quality, because I have a pretty good mic, because I'm also a gamer, we'll get into that stuff. Without further ado, all right, as you can see here, at a 246 par 3 for hole 1, I am throwing a Goliath redemption disc. This is my second throw of the day. I did throw one other disc off this tee to warm up, as well as putt at a practice basket before this. But moved right on up to my putt, which I missed my first putt of the day. Tapped it in for par. Moved on to hole 2, 251, par 3. And then you see here I got a decent Anheuser shot, but it did not fight out of it with my Goliath Gyra. Missed another putt with the Waymaker. However, get some redemption here on another par 3, much shorter, has a Mando on the right, but I throw the Goliath Genesis as my throwing putter. Actually get a pretty good line. I just end up throwing a little hard and smoking that tree. But as you'll see here, I make the putt, so I'm now 1 under through 3. I'm playing in Heron, Illinois. This is a great golf course, especially for learning to play disc golf. And now we're on hole 4, 216, par 3. Decided to go with a forehand with the Goliath Samson, and just had a bad throw here. Long outside circle 2 putt. Went ahead and putted with the Genesis here because it's a little glidier, and so it's a little easier to get to the basket on, over 60, 70 feet putts. First par 4 of the day, 488. I throw the Goliath Rapture, which is a really good overstable 12.603 disc. Fought wind all day today and just had a bad throw. Only threw it about 240 feet. Followed up with a chain breaker for a bad throw. Followed that up with the Goliath Pillar for a bad throw. And then what should have been a par putt and chained out, or I've hit the cage. As you noticed, I've done a lot of that today. Next hole. So I'm now back to even, par 3 here. I'm throwing the Genesis again, going for going for an ace run here with a little turnover shot. You see I just miss it short and slide right on out of bounds, but it was worth for the video to go for it. Walk it in, tap it in, move on. As you can see, I'm bundled up. It was freezing cold outside, super cold, and of course my wife is the cameraman here, so thank you, honey. Throw the Goliath Arc here, trying to get a flex shot out of it, and the wind just grabs it. I threw it nose up, don't get me wrong, but the wind just grabbed it and yanked it. But followed up with a pretty good approach shot with the Pillar forehand, and of course putted in for par. Of course, hole 8, 450 foot par 4. Really went nose up with the 13 speed neutral driver from Goliath Disc. The slingshot got very little distance, somehow made it through trees, went for a pretty good dogleg left approach shot with the Samson, and then hit a phantom branch, and then I parked with a little flex forehand straight to the basket there. You don't see the disc, but I promise that's what happened. Hole 9's another par 4. Throw the slingshot again. I get up to about 330, which wasn't bad again. Just throwing nose up really bad this day, and not only was I throwing nose up really bad, but the wind was going anywhere between 5 and 15 miles an hour. Went for the approach shot left-handed there. Thought it would have been a better play. Plus, I hadn't thrown left-handed yet, and that is one of my skill set, is that I'm an ambidextrous thrower, so I thought I would squeak it in there. I ended up making the par, but it wasn't pretty. On the next par 4, 433, as you can see in the video, I throw the Rapture again. It does not flip up at all, which it does half the time for me, just not throwing well this day. We've seen a couple of shots now where I throw that green disc. That is the Goliath chain breaker. That is their tilt, and it throws like a tilt. It is brutal. I've only recently developed the courage to throw it. And then, of course, I follow up with a bogey on hole 10, or on basket. Yeah, hole 10 here, because I just whiffed 2 putts in a row from 20 feet both times. Pretty funny. And then here I take the local route through the Mando. That should not have worked at all, but it did, where the disc just got pushed straight up. Instead of going under that tree, it went straight up over that big branch, and still ended up short. But that was the Samson again, which is a 5.303. Really throws more like a 5.214, but then you see I think I'm in a outside circle 2 and just brutally fail the putt. The approach, thinking I could putt it up to the basket, then miss the putt due to wind if you weren't paying attention there. So I'm now 2 over. So I go for a little thumber forehand. It works, gets me where I want to be. I get the tap in. And then here again, the wind just grabs a hold of my redemption, which is 5.502. So it's like the dynamic disc, dynamic truth. I try to flex try to Anheuser a putt, and thinking I could maybe fight some wind, and just didn't give it enough, and it gets flipped over, make the par. Fun story here is I threw this shot. I threw a couple of shots here to see if I could get some clever lines. And on one of those, the wind grabbed my disc and threw it on a pavilion. And so what you saw was the play that I was going to film anyway, but what you didn't see was the blooper reel of me having to stack 2 picnic tables to retrieve my disc. I finally pull the Goliath Enoch on my back here in a little 246-foot par 3 over water, park the basket, get at least one of those bad strokes back. I believe I'm now at 1 over. And then here, just the worst throw of the day. I do absolutely everything wrong. Into the wind. Wind says, you're not playing this game today. I try to redeem it here. I was hoping to get a little bit more of a skip out of this, and just throw it a little too hyzery. But again, that was that super overstable chain breaker. 9 speed, 9.304, I think is what it is. Go for the approach with the Genesis there. Just go ahead and tap it in because I can. Throw another Samson shot. You'll notice through this video I'm throwing a lot of very overstable discs, and the reason I'm doing that is because I'm trying to teach myself to throw flat rather than hyzer. Get the par. Here, just throw a little nose up on this standstill 226 right into the tree. This is another hole where I spent a little while just playing with some shot shapes that they are. But that is how it went, and I'll have a little outro video coming up now. Yeah, didn't think I'd have an outro, but I also didn't realize how fast that video would go through. But you saw it went. It wasn't bad. I think that ended up 1 over. It might have been 2 over. I didn't keep track on UDisc, and I did not count while I was watching the video. I was just trying to give commentary of what was going on. I threw every disc in my bag at least once, which is why I took that over the water shot with the Enoch, which actually would have been a good disc for that shot anyway, though I probably would have chosen the Arc otherwise. But I am getting my competitive first season started. That was my first round as I prepared to be a competitor. I actually just got my new bag in today. I got almost all of the discs that I will be playing with this season. The only disc you didn't see from Goliath Disc that was not in the video today is because I threw it straight into water. Because over the past couple of months, my arm speed has increased quite dramatically. I went from throwing 220 to a consistent 350 for the most part. I'm touching 400 when I'm not throwing bad. So I've gone up at least 100 feet in just a very short period of time, and so all of my discs fly different, which again is why I'm throwing a lot of overstable disc on shot where maybe I should be throwing more neutral disc, simply because I need to learn to throw those flat shots and let the disc do what the disc is supposed to do, rather than throwing really flippy discs on hyzer as we amateurs and newbies do. So you haven't seen the ambush yet. You will see that hopefully in the next video that I do. I may do an ambush only round. It's a great disc. It flies very similar to something like a Nuke SS or a flippy Katana, if you know those discs. But what happened with it was I threw it on hyzer, used to it coming up to flat, flying straight, maybe a little turn, and then fading out at the end, and this one went. Which is what happens when you go from throwing 250 feet to 350 feet and your discs behave differently. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm working on getting equipment for all this stuff. But all that being said, let me tell you, I have thrown Innova, Trilogy, Innova and Trilogy mostly. I really enjoy a company called Viking Discs. One of my favorite drivers I've ever thrown came on a Viking disc. It's the Berserker. It's one of the first distance drivers I was able to learn to throw with. My buddy PJ also throws it. He still throws it. Actually just recently put a flippy Katana in his bag because his arm speed is going up, so those 10-speed discs and 11-speed discs that he was getting great shapes out of are now just doing this on him, so that 13-speed disc has kind of become his flip up and fade out. That said, 2025 I think is going to be a great year. I really look forward to seeing what I can do in a tournament setting, because local courses that you play on a regular basis, being able to throw 900 rated is one thing, but anyway, where I was going with all that, I'm kind of all over the place. My point is, I've thrown all of those discs. I learned about Goliath discs through the Disc and Disciples group, looked into them. I love what their brand represents. From the behind the scenes side, I can tell you that they encourage their team to practice Christianity, and not just generic Christianity or American Christianity, but sincere biblical Christianity, where we mind our words, we represent Christ in all that we do and say, and we prioritize the kingdom of God and making disciples over whatever else we do. And in this instance, we just utilize the sport and hobby and game of disc golf to participate in the local community, to participate in the world around us without being a full part of that world. And I think it's great. I look forward to seeing how 2025 goes, and I encourage you, if you've not thrown Goliath discs, to go to the website, goliathdiscs.com, and check them out. If you do, of course, I've got a discount code. Every purchase made with my discount code benefits me and benefits Goliath Disc. I will have that in the description below. Use, I believe it's Pastor Davo 10 for a 10% discount at checkout. But let me tell you, they've got a full lineup of 12 discs, basically 3 putters, 3 mid-ranges, 3 fairways, and 3 distance drivers. And for just about every shot shape, there's a few shot shapes that I think are missing in that, but I also only have one of each disc. I don't have every type of plastic. And from what the other teammates who also make content say, if you get them in different plastics, you can kind of fill in those places that feel like they're missing in my bag. I'm excited about the year. I hope you're excited about the year. I hope you're excited about Jesus. I hope you're excited about disc golf. Go out, fling some plastic, have a good time. And if you don't know Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior, reach out to me privately using pastordavollc@gmail.com, or drop a comment, drop a like, drop a subscribe, reach out to me. Let's talk this through. And if you need fitness coaching, I will gladly help you with that. You can find me on Instagram to engage me in that parameter. My Instagram is AMA Discipleship. I've blabbed on for too long. God bless you.